Hello, ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys. You are now entering Season 2 of the Swan Hockey Podcast. Swan Hockey is flying around the junior hockey world one episode at a time. You'll experience things dreams are made of, as well as things of terrible nightmares. Strap in, hold on, and enjoy the ride. And now, Swan Hockey.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Swan Hockey. We are in Season 2. I am Eric Swanek. Today, we are joined by Andrew Serpico from Neutral Zone. He is the Assistant Director of U.S. Scouting for Neutral Zone. Serps, what up?
How are you doing? Happy early New Year's.
Yeah, Happy New Year's. This is your first time back on the podcast since you had that big win in the Discord of the Hockey Monkey card, which I'm sure people love you and think that.
Absolutely. Listen, everybody, for those of you that are fired up and a little frazzled that I got to victory, it's just tough being this good. You know, I just wake up in the morning and, I just piss excellence. This is who I am. And it's just, get pucks deep, bang body, and that's how you win games. So you can be frustrated all you want. It's tough putting the puck in the back of the net so much. And, pretty excited. I was jacked up when I saw that. I honestly, I thought I got no shot at this, but I throw my name in that and see what happens. And I was pretty fired up. So thanks for the victory. Thanks to Hockey Monkey for the big gift card, and got a couple Christmas presents out of the deal, and was pretty excited.
we might roll another one, everyone. So we might roll another one. I don't know how. So, or sorry, you go, and then I got a little story time.
Well, if you're going to roll another one, I only got one thing to say to everybody else. Good luck.
So, Serps is like the king of winning this kind of shit. Like, this happens all the time. Like, I remember the day you called me, you're like, guess what? I'm like, what? You're like, won a 72-inch TV and free chicken wings for a year. I'm like, what?
Hooters Cup, baby.
Yeah, what'd you do? You picked picked an entire European soccer bracket correctly somehow, and you don't even really follow soccer?
First of all, I'm a FIFA World Cup bracket pick winner extraordinaire, so you back up off me there. It was a Hooters Cup for the World Cup in what's coming up, 2022 maybe? Was I? Nope, it was the one before that. 2018, I think it was 2018.
Yeah.
It was working for the Preds, and me and all the boys in the back office were like, this will be fun. Hooters is running a competition. You pick like the winners of each game, and then you get a playoff bracket and whatever. So I don't know a ton. I know there's a couple good guys on certain teams. Some countries are probably better than other ones. Just complete throwing darts. After the first round, I'm in like 7,000th place. I got no chance. So then the playoff bracket comes around, and I hit the first game, I hit the next game, and I hit the perfect first round. Now I'm in like 400th place. Now I'm a little more invested. Then I hit the winner of everyone in the next round. Now I'm in like 80th place, and now I hit the winners of everyone in the semifinals. Now it's between me and some clown from Minnesota. I had France to win. He had Croatia. All I needed was France to just pulverize these guys. They ended up winning 4-2, and I won free wings for a year. I won a 65-inch TV. It's great because it dims to the light when you shut the lights off, so it doesn't blind you. Still got that in the bedroom. How you doing? How you been?
Love it.
Yeah, that was an absolutely electrifying time. I remember I was watching I think it was in Russia, and I was with Danielle's family was in town, so we were all at like the water park or something.
Okay.
And I was standing there with her brother and her dad, and they're like, what do you got going on? I was like, I need Russia to win. And then I could probably win free wings for a year. And then I had the whole bar invested in this. Like, everyone was screaming for the Russians to win. It was a great time. And, so now I'm a Hooters Cup and undisputed because they never ran the competition again. So I'm the reigning Hooters Cup world champion. So no big deal. I know a thing or two about contests and soccer.
I love it. But
football to
the crazy part is that wasn't even the craziest one. The craziest one was when I called you, I don't even remember what I asked you to do, but I'm like, oh, you should fly up. We should do this or whatever this weekend. And you're like, Serps goes, oh, I can't. I got to wave the start flag at the NASCAR race that weekend. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, oh, I won a competition. I'm like, of course you did. Like, but what?
Yeah, I got to wave the green flag at the NASCAR race in Miami this year. So, had to be there. Couldn't miss it for the fellas.
And how did you win that again?
I woke up that morning, I pissed excellence and, got the job done. They just selected me because I am who I am. They heard about my Hooters Cup pedigree and they're like, we need this guy. So, that's how we got involved.
Yeah, that was definitely, that one might have taken the cake, but.
Yeah, just in case you're wondering, now that we're on the topic, if you want to tune in to probably Fox August 28th to the NASCAR race in Daytona, you'll see me again up on that tower waving that green flag.
You're doing it again?
Yeah, this time it's in Daytona, though, not Miami.
Oh,
it's just sometimes when you're hot, you're hot. So
that's funny.
Yeah. Well, moral of the story, Hockey Monkey, thanks for the victory. How you doing?
Oh man, that's funny. So, but all right, let's get into this. Where do you want to start? You want to start World Junior? You want to talk about the U.S. the NTDP CHL challenge? It's been a while.
I mean, I want to go right into World Juniors because there's some things that are grinding my gears that I got to get off my chest. That I think you probably, if you don't fire back at me, I'm here for debate. Get it after it. Okay, so right out of the gates, USA Hockey does this every 3-0. My boys were buzzing, love it. Never going to not root for the fellas. What drives me nuts is when they release the preliminary roster every single year, and there's like 5 or 6 major junior guys that just all get cut with no hesitation.
Yeah.
It's quite aggravating because those guys obviously they deserve to be there, and you got to pick the right team. I get it, but like they're just letting stars go from their team that can make a difference, and whatever they win gold. So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But what aggravated me this year, so they brought 15 forwards to camp, right? So they're going to cut one. Trevor Connolly ends up getting injured. He plays for Henderson in the AHL. He gets injured, so there's your cut, right? Nope, wrong. Jacob Vashnica, I think I'm pronouncing that right, who plays for, I want to say, Penticton in the Dub. They also cut him, and then they bring in a new forward who wasn't even on the preliminary roster, Will Zellers, who, ironically, is leading the team in points, and I think he's second overall in the tournament in goals, so that was a huge miss off the preliminary roster. But why are you have a guy on your prelim roster that's there, he's been at camp, and you don't need to cut him, and then you cut him just to bring somebody else in. Made absolutely no sense to me. And then they do the same thing with their goalies. AJ Railtz, I believe his name is, also Penticton, 3 goalies. He's the first cut. And then they bring up Brady Noling, the 08 from their NTDP team. Then why'd you bring AJ to camp? They butt heads with the CHL thing, and it's quite aggravating and frustrating. And then on the defensive side, they're going to cut 2 guys, both of them major junior players. Now they're forced to take Chase Reed and AJ Spellacy, who both play major junior, which is shocking, who are also making a huge impact in the tournament. But I don't understand. It's frustrating why they do this every single time. I don't know. Thanks for letting me rant for a minute.
No, listen, it's so interesting. I mean, like, I'd love to, like, I wish I was in on the conversation because I'd be very curious to know, why the pattern is there of not taking the major junior guys. I don't know. I mean, it seems like it could be spiteful. I mean, I don't again, I would just like to be in the room and understand if it is out of spite or if they truly believe that those guys can't hack it.
All right, let me ask you a question here. If you think if this is out of spite or not, JP Hurlbert, 08, played for the NTDP, left, went major junior. He was in the CHL Prospects Challenge. He wore the A for the CHL team after playing NTDP the year prior. He is going into the preliminary roster reveal, is the leading scorer in all of major junior, not just for draft eligible players, for every single player. Leading scorer. Doesn't get an invite to camp. How does that make sense?
Yeah, now the tuxedos kind of seem fucked up.
I like. Tell me that's not out of spite. Now, I mean, it's tough for an 08 to make this team. I understand, but he leads all of major junior in points, and he's not getting a look at camp.
Yeah, it's like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I would love to know what the rationale is. I mean, I'm sure, like, again, like, you can't help but think that, like, okay, kid leaves NTDP. There's a big part of it. I mean, it's just going to be interesting to see how all this shakes out and to see if the tune changes with all this talk of the USHL and the CHL and all that, and how that's all going to, shake out. Cause obviously, you have the whole, like, American development model and whatnot. And like the USHL prides itself on the fact that they don't play as many games as the CHL and they practice more. And that's been like, a pillar that they've stood by. Now, if they, again, who knows what's going to happen, but if they do wind up joining the CHL, it's kind of like, okay, like everything that, everything that everybody said that this league was built on, and is it just going to go right out the window? So, like, and just from the whole development standpoint of the players and everything, and I don't know, it's just kind of crazy. It's the whole, just crazy times we're in now in junior hockey, and you just wonder how much of the craziness is carrying over to this, to the biggest stage of junior hockey, and with some of the decisions that they're making and that kind of stuff. Why
are we butting heads? We don't need to. There's no need.
No, I'd rather just win a gold medal every time.
Absolutely. And these guys might go on to win gold. I hope they do. There's a chance they do. But, like, I don't know. There's just it's a reoccurring theme every single year. That's it's kind of frustrating. But then again, they're always in it. So unlike Canada, who's been bounced by the Czechs, like 2 years in a row or something like that.
I mean, like, but even though we're always in it, like, if we could make better decisions and, win it almost every time, like, I'd rather do that.
Yeah, I like winning. Hence the
just beat them now.
Yeah, just beat them now.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's
yeah, and you've seen a lot of these guys, because obviously you cover a ton of ground with Neutral Zone. Like, you've you've seen some of these guys grow up.
I was just telling my wife. I remember one of the first major tournaments I did was the King of Spring or something like that. Maybe it's like a WSI tournament in Nashville for U14s. And on the U.S. team, there was, I think, 13 kids that were at that tournament, which was, so, like, I've been tracking these kids for a couple of years, which is cool. One, just go down memory lane here for a second. There's a kid on the team, Dakota Rayon Mullen, whose mother, I believe his mother was Manon Rayon. Kid goes to Michigan. He made something I've never seen or have seen still to this day, other than this moment, where he was behind his own net with the puck. He pops out to the right side about 2 strides, sends a sauce that almost kissed the ceiling, landed flat perfectly on the far blue line to his target in stride without having to move his blade to send the kid in for a breakaway, and the kid scored. Thank God he scored, because if he didn't, it'd be the absolute waste of a play. I've never seen anything like it. It was absolutely unbelievable. But yes, long story short, I've been tracking these kids for a good while, and it's really cool to see that they're on, such a big stage. And then you kind of just, track their development and how they're doing, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure. And obviously you have insight and stuff to them. Like, we're just kind of seeing, like, my point is that more about them than just a casual person watching them this week.
I say so. Yes,
and
I would.
Even like some of the guys that got cut and whatnot.
Yeah. I mean, not everybody. I mean, I haven't seen everybody on the team, but I'd say probably about 75% of these guys I've been watching a decent amount for the past couple of years.
Yeah. Looking back, who was the most impressive? Like, now, kind of like, okay, like, you flash forward all these years now looking back and remembering what you saw back when they were younger, who was the most impressive back at that age?
This is probably going to be a cheap answer, but you mean at that tournament or at the U14 age?
Just like that, whether it was that tournament or another one, just like from what you remember seeing those guys play, and I'm sure at some point you thought like, okay, like, these, however many, like, all right, these are players, like these, I'll bet you in a few years they're somewhere. Now we're those few years later and they are somewhere. Like, what was the most impressive thing watching those guys and everything?
So the top guys at that tournament basically are the ones that are playing for Team USA and Team Canada. But there was one kid in particular, I forget, he was playing on for like one of the draft day teams. So Teddy Stiga scored the game-winning goal in the gold medal game last year for the U.S. He was paired up with a kid named Beckett Seneca, who has got a decent, he's one of the, I think he's the leading rookie scorer in the NHL at this point, or maybe in the top three. But watching those two at those level, they were untouchable and absolutely untouchable. That nobody could do anything against them. They had their way with, they were just, you could just see a difference at age 14 and how much better they were than everybody else on the ice. And clearly that has continued because Seneca's playing for the Ducks and lighting it up. Stiga's at Stiga at BC. Stiga might be at BC, I think. But he scored a huge goal last year, and those were definitely two guys. And Rayon Mullins passed it. I'll never forget. That was one of the most beautiful things I have ever seen. My God.
Yeah, no, I love it. I love it. And I wanted to ask you too, what's your first half of the year been like? Like how many reports have you written so far? Cause I remember last year was like some crazy number by this time of year.
Yeah, we're a little behind. Last year I personally, I think I wrote like 2350 by the end of the year, 2,350, something around there. We're only at
insane.
We're only at 1,100 to this point. That's from September to now.
Over 1,000 player reports.
Yeah, I mean, obviously some of those are I've seen some teams a couple times, so some of those are doubled up with like the same player. So it's 1,100 player reports, not individual players. It's a lot, but it's definitely enjoyable. Kind of it help you like track player development too, how they're going from the beginning of the year to now. Even just those few months, there's a lot of changes from players. Things we like to see are grade progression. So like if I have given a couple guys C's or C pluses early in the year, and now I'm seeing them at the new year, they're getting B pluses. It's cool to see the development and the change. I personally have been mainly in between like 14s, 15s, a little bit of 16s all year, with a main focus of 14s and 15s, kind of all over the U.S. and Canada. So yeah, just all over the map and just, whatever it takes to get the victory.
Yeah, that's insane. And feel free to say you can't talk about it, but are you seeing, we're covering so much ground. What are you seeing in terms of with the 18s and the 16s? And I know you said you're, primarily covering, the younger side of this, but with these changes with the CHL and the NCAA changes, would you say that like those levels are losing their top guys, the 18s and 16s?
Absolutely. 1,000%. I think there's a decent drop off, at least from what I've seen the past couple of years, at what is going on this year. I can't say I've seen some of the top 18s and a decent amount of the 16s. And I'd say there's definitely a difference because all those 09s and 08s are going up north and playing major junior. And that's kind of taken away from the level of play down here. So yeah, definitely a difference.
Yeah. And then the other thing that I think that we're already seeing, and I think it's going to even, get greater, is I think you're going to have other guys that, choose to say, hey, you know what? Like, I don't want to go down this road. I want to go, I just want to go to school on time. I want to go, the ACHA. Great. I'll go. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think,
absolutely.
Yeah. Like, I think people are starting to, I think people are starting to kind of identify what, some of these avenues look like and identifying what their, hockey goals are, life goals, and make choices of what they're willing to do and what they're not willing to do. And like I said, like there's nothing wrong with just going to there's nothing wrong with going to ACHA and going there on time.
No, especially because some of those, you're going to go to some pretty awesome schools. It's like some like the SEC schools that have these big football programs. They're going to start getting hockey teams. Some of them already do. They're going to start playing in bigger arenas. They're going to be cool, like awesome environments to go to. The hockey programs are starting to build, getting better players, and it's just going to be an awesome experience. Like if that's what you want to do, great. Go have an awesome, great time doing it. You'll probably love it.
Yeah, and there's some like obviously like tremendous educational opportunities.
Absolutely.
There too. I mean, the ACHA.
Forgot to mention there's education going on at school.
Yeah. Well, in this landscape, it almost like that's the one thing I always say about academies is like as soon as you hear the word academy, it's like the education piece of the program just went to shit. Like, and again, I don't know if you can comment on that or not, but
I haven't watched many academies, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but it's just like that's what I feel like. Some of these like academies, it's just like the schooling's just just gone. But yeah, I mean, there's some really great opportunities in the ACHA, and I think people are definitely starting to look at that now. Even the guys that are going through the junior process, I think they're starting to open up their eyes more to the ACHA, and I think they're liking what they're seeing. Because also, let's be honest, I mean, like ACHA, like at least to Division I, I mean, it's no slouch, teams like you gotta be good to play there.
But didn't was it UNLV or something beat Denver in a preseason game? Like
or exhibition game. Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
And then from what I remember, Liberty beat LIU not long ago. I mean, like there's that's not to say that like ACHA 1's interchangeable with NCAA Division 1. Like, no, of course not. But but there's some great players and great teams and great programs.
Absolutely.
I mean, I mean, I don't know. ACHA has a lot to offer, and like there's some great locations.
I mean, you could keep this in if you want. I remember when I was looking at leaving Nichols, and I was talking to an ACHA school, and they're like, come to one of our games. We'll talk to you. Blah blah. Games at like 10 p.m.
Yeah.
And they were running late, so I was at the game. It's like 10:30. They haven't even started warm-ups. I just left. I think ACHA has come a long way in the past. I don't know. Was that 10 years ago? Maybe I don't even know.
Yeah, especially like some of the. Especially like some of the schools, like they really run them like, like they'll run them like varsity programs.
Then I was also talking. It was like Stony Brook too, and like that was a legit program. I think they went to nationals that year.
Yeah,
they put a lot. Yeah, they put a lot in the hockey program. It just took 9 hours to get there because Long Island's miserable to drive through.
Yeah. Oh, hello, traffic.
Golly, no, thank you. But that was a cool experience. Minus, the other school that was 10:30. Get out of here.
That's late. That's late.
Yeah.
So I mean, but yeah, no, they definitely. But like, yeah, some of the schools the setups are pretty cool. Like they're sick.
Oh my god. Have you been to Delaware before?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was the dumbest question I could have ever asked you.
Yeah. Remember when we builded there together?
Oh, idiot. My God. What's the concussion thing? Not PTSD. What is it?
Post-concussion something.
Obviously, I have that. Yeah, I'll have some of that. That sounds good.
Some of that.
Yeah, but that's a sick barn.
Yeah,
they got an unreal. They treat their guys nice. Like that's a good place to play for sure.
Yeah. And then what was the other? Oh, like Liberty was like their games. Like their games are on ESPN. I don't know about all of them, but I know one of them was because I watched them play, or I didn't watch it, but I saw a clip on Facebook. They were playing Westchester.
Yeah,
NCDC.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I do remember that.
Yeah, I mean some of it like, and then some of these teams that are like these big football programs and everything. Like these kids are probably having the times of their life. Going to these football games, screaming their head off, and then go playing their own hockey games. And I mean, there's some like these kids are having a time of their lives.
Yeah, Moral of the story, it's a great option nowadays. There's nothing wrong with it.
No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, I think it's like I always thought that Division III NCAA was probably the most underestimated level of hockey just by players and parents growing up. Cause like I'd always ask a player like what their goals were, and they always would respond, I want to go Division I, but if not, I'll just go Division III. And my response was always kind of like, hey, listen, like you won't just go Division III. Like you got to work your ass off to play Division III hockey. And now I think like that's where the ACHA 1 is at now, I would say. And maybe even some of the ACHA 2. Like a lot of players think that, you know, it's like they'll take the ACHA 1 for granted, or they'll even turn it down. They'll be like, oh, if I can't play NCAA Division III, I'm not going to play ACHA 1. I don't want to do that. It's like, well, I'm not convinced that you even could.
Yep, 1,000%. I remember when I was going, when I went to Nichols, I thought I was just going to walk in and be like a superstar out of the gates. Like, and then you go to your first captain's practice and like that, it was legitimate hockey. I think it's only getting better, especially because aren't they allowing major junior guys to start coming down now?
Yeah, apparently that's next. I thought that was finalized already. I guess it's not, but I talked to a Division III coach the other day, and from what I got, it's pretty much like it's gonna happen. They just got to do the official whatever.
Yeah, so
you know, vote or whatever. But that'll be interesting to see how that unfolds.
Absolutely, it's already a legit level, and now you're going to add that to it. Like that's playing D3 is no slouch anymore.
No,
I don't think it ever was.
No, and I wonder how much the D3 is going to benefit from that rule change, because obviously they can't give athletic scholarships. They find ways to get money to the player, right? But I mean, you know, it's just like, okay, like especially with the Canadian conversion rate right now, how many Canadians are going to want to come down and play Division III for that money at that conversion? You know, so I think that the Canadian, you know, could be much more appealing maybe to the Americans. So I guess we'll start to see, I don't know, like if the Canadians don't want to come play Division III, I guess that Division III route is going to depend on how many more Americans choose to pursue the major junior route and fall short of Division I. You know, then I guess we'll see, you know, Division III benefit from those guys. But it'll
just wait till the major junior kids that are going to play NCAA Division III realize they actually have to go to class.
That's funny. But no, the whole yeah, I don't know. The whole thing's changing. I mean, because even like I just had somebody the other day tell me like a lot of like those top SUNY schools, like they're pretty much, you know, they're looking at like, you know, BCHL, like that's where they're targeting right now. Like they're not even really looking at some of the lower end tier 2 junior A anymore, right? Like some of the lower end tier 2 junior A, they're like, nah, you know, we don't know.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they're like the BCHL is kind of, you know, BCHL NA. That's kind of the, they're probably the bottom of their target area.
Yeah. I just pulled up, I just went to a random SUNY school. I picked SUNY Geneseo, who historically has been very, very good. And their whole roster is pretty much NA, SJ, OJ, MJ, Division I players.
Yeah.
Like that's like you have to be a player to come here.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, like the days of the tier 3 guys going to Division III, like they're going to be fewer and farther between than they've ever been. I mean, I had a Division III school tell me, you know, at the beginning of the season, they're kind of like, hey, we want, you know, tier 2 or higher. Like we can't really like, and they went out to the EHL showcase and they're like, it just wasn't what it has always been. And they're like, we want pretty much tier 2 or higher. You know, had another school tell me pretty much the same thing last year. You know, they don't even really want to hear about the tier 3 guys right now.
Just another random one. Oswego, NCAA, AJ, NA, BCHL. That's it. That's all it is.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, even like, so Andre Kapernoff from the Titans. Like he was on the last episode, and you know, he was saying how like even their NA team, they're getting, you know, Division III is probably the most realistic, right? Until they start getting those top end super young guys in there, Division III is going to be a heavy route coming out of the NA right now, right? And they do have a super young 09 that kid just committed to BU. He's one of their goalies.
Oh,
right?
That's
like,
right. Yeah.
But like that's gonna be like those are the like for the NA to get their D1 commitments back to what they were pre this rule. That's what I think they have to do. I think they got to get those guys, the super high end guys, super young. And then they're going to have to get them, you know, they'll get them committed, and then they're going to have to ship them off to the CHL or to USHL or whatever it might be. But that's the path where I think the NA kind of gets back to where they were, and maybe even surpasses where they were. Who knows? But
it's possible,
you know, like, so like, that's what I think there. And then the other thing that I think, and I told Andre this, is that I think the NA, like in terms of like the 20-year-olds, I think we may see more of them wind up getting Division I commitments towards the end of the season. I think the NA to Division I might be what like the EHL was to Division III, where the EHL did a great job of getting guys Division III commitments, but they probably got a lot of them later on in the later stages after those Division III teams exhausted their NA pursuits, right? Because that's the thing that everybody always forgets. Like Division III, it's not like they wanted Tier 3 guys, like, you know, or not that they didn't want them, but it's not like they were still going after NA guys. They were still going after BCHL guys. Like the NA guys were still, you know, those Tier 2 guys were still their number one choice. But then when they couldn't get them, and now you're sitting there in March, and it's like, all right, we need one more guy. He's going to be a depth guy in and out of the lineup, probably not going to play anyway. All right, let's just, you know, who's the best kid locally here that we could see? Let's just get a guy, right? Like we're not going to scurry the country. Like we're done. We've been doing that all year. You know, the 5 we had for that spot didn't pan out. Let's go grab the best local kid we could find. And that's, you know, and I think the EHL did a great job with those types of kids. I think we could start to see the 20-year-olds from the NA fill that role for Division I, where they're like, all right, yo, we can't get this guy from the CHL that we wanted. Can't get that one from the USHL that we wanted. It's March. All right, let's go commit that NA kid. He's going to be in and out of the lineup anyway. You know, we're good. Let's get it done. We're out of time.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I didn't think about that or really have a thought in that situation either way, but that makes sense and definitely a possibility.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see how it all shapes up, because, you know, I don't think we're done yet too. I think the junior landscape is going to continue to change, and then like at the lower end of the junior spectrum, you got the whole NCDC, EHL, NA3 battle going on and everything, and you know, I think it'll be interesting to see the way that all shapes up. But yeah, crazy times we're in now.
We are in an interesting time period of hockey, and it's definitely navigating this is going to be difficult. So it's a good thing you got your finger on the pulse there, and you know which way everything's going.
Yeah, trying. It's crazy because there's never a dull moment, and every time you think that it's like, all right, you've seen everything, like another curveball comes the next week. Like it's crazy the amount of times that I've been on the phone with USA Hockey or Hockey Canada or something and been like, hey, here's what's going on. How do we fix this situation? Or what's the exact ruling on a situation like this? And they're like, all right, yeah, we haven't had that one before. It's like, wait, how have you not had that one? Like, it's just, you know, it's just great because there's just so many different moving pieces and so many variables that, you know, as soon as everything gets straightened out, you know, there's just something else that gets thrown in the equation where you're just like, oh, all right, like that's you know, where you really, really got to dig super deep into the rule book.
Yeah, who knows when it's going to end too.
Yeah, I don't think it will. I mean, I think I don't know. I think it's gonna settle soon. Like I said, I don't think we're at the end of it. I think we're getting close to everything just kind of like settling down. I don't think it'll necessarily be over, but I think we're going to see a couple more riffles. You know, the next big one that I want to see is what's going to happen with this USHL and CHL. So that's going to be interesting. And Glenn, I talked to Glenn, the commissioner of the USHL, the other day. He should be coming back on. He should be coming back on here on the podcast in the coming weeks. We're going to set it up right after New Year, which now is in 2 days. So,
right around.
Yeah. So Glenn should be coming back on, and I'm really interested to hear what he has to say, because him and I had an awesome conversation the first time he was on. Like it was a really good conversation.
Love that. It's important to have that.
Yeah. So, but yeah. All right. Well, hey, let's call it here for everybody at home. Don't forget the conversation continues in the Discord server. You can get there from swanhockey.com. I'm in there every day answering questions. Serps, are you going to say something?
Yeah. This is a vital, since you got you're in the landscape. When do you think the professional floor hockey league's going to start popping up? Because my wrist shot's getting pretty nasty, and just showcasing it in the house every day, I'm not getting the eyes I need for just ringing bars left and right on little man. So, trying to, advance my skills into the professional floor hockey ranks whenever you think those are going to pop up.
Yeah. Listen, I'm all about floor hockey, but I've reached the age where I need to sit on something. So I pull up a stool and I sit down, and then I just get fed one-timers. I got one hand on the stick and I just whack that thing backhand as hard as I can.
Yeah, there's minimal movement involved, and the second I get on my knees, I'm done for. So I made sure the stick's a little big enough to where I don't have to hunch over too much. So I'm calling it mini sticks, not knee hockey, because if it's knee hockey,
yeah,
I get involved.
Oh, those used to be the days. Remember playing floor hockey and you just be like soaking wet, like just sweating like a maniac, go crush like a bottle of water in 3 sips.
Yeah, yep, absolutely, never tired. And like, I remember my mom would get so mad because I ripped so many pants on my knees. Now, like, if I don't have knee protectors and extra cushion, like, I can't get down there.
No, or at least if I do, I'm not getting back up.
Yeah. Yeah.
It takes a couple. You oil the joints back up, and you're good to go.
Gonna start need some ice baths. Like, this professional floor hockey league's got to be legitimate. You're gonna need some saunas. Like, it's maybe some rolly chairs.
That could be interesting.
That could be a good time. All right, I'm sorry. I just went off on a tangent there for no reason.
No,
just keeping everyone.
It's all good.
No,
now you got me thinking about floor hockey. It's all good.
Yeah, every day. We're on the ice every day getting after it. And by I mean knee shredding carpet. So
yeah, always doing jeans was the worst.
Oh my God, that sounds miserable.
Oh man,
it's fun being old.
Yeah, yep. But all right, well, let's call it here. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll have to do another one soon.
I'm in for it whenever you want.
All right, sweet. All right, well, Serps, you have a happy New Year. Everybody at home, have a happy and safe New Year. Serps, you have a safe New Year as well.
You have a great New Year.
Yeah, I will. And I will talk to you guys soon. See ya.
Have a good.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Swan Hockey Podcast. We remind you that season pass points are available to listeners. For more information, please visit www.swanhockey.io. Until next time.